Morning. My daughters is hating, and that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. We're trying to get them together. We got to get them together.
I don't like church.
No, that ain't got nothing to do with me. We was just here together 22 hours ago. Now we up. Let me go and send out the black signal. Let everybody know what's going on. Of course, y'all know we're going to open up the lines. We're going to have discussions. Lines will be open. I will post it up. You know how it goes. Or I get somebody else that's in the chat to go on and post it up for us. Let me go on and refresh this chat so that we go and make sure we got everything popping the way we need it to be. Okay, chat moving up real slow. See what's going on here. Okay, all right. Trying to see if we streaming. We streaming live. It ain't reached Facebook yet. Oh, it's online on Facebook. It's online on stream.me. We're still waiting for Periscope, and we're waiting for YouTube to come up. But it is what it is, family. And it's once again good to be here with you. I will post the number up for the lines. I just sent out the black signal. Hopefully y'all got it. We also sent out a mass text for the per arc. Inviting you out, bring a covered dish, bring something to eat, come and learn and possibly share, and we grow together. We start really putting this tribe together. We doing our part, but we got other tribes and other families, and we trying to bring everything in house. We got a few things we could discuss today. I'm understanding Brother Umar made his announcement. I know I had people out there on the timeline again, so I'm going to have to get somebody out there. We're going to repost up, about bringing him to the Malcolm X Festival and see what the response is now. From what I'm understanding, the brother has the building, and he will be, I think, officially announcing the location on the 14th if he hasn't already announced the location. I'm wondering what will be the complaints now. Because it's going to be a pretty penny to bring Brother Umar down, right? Really. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to have to work to do it if we're going to do it. Now, I'm not saying that is the final choice. I still have to get together with the crew, but I'm just looking for different people that we have access that we could bring that will attract an audience to the to the Malcolm X Revolutionary Festival. That's it. And I'm just airing stuff. So I put it out last time, and I'm in support of scammers, and I'm in support of people taking advantage of the black community, and I mean all other types of shit that was popping up on there. Who are you? Blah 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 and shit like that. All I gotta do is Google me. You know what I'm saying? That's all I have. Just Google me. Because I've been working doing the same shit consistently for years. And it's like, but that's one thing. The whole reparation piece is popping off in a big way, even though it's always been around us. But the whole conversation is like spreading like wildfire over YouTube, family. The whole black agenda piece is spreading like wildfire, and there's people out there sounding the alarm. We definitely could talk about some of that stuff. We can still continue talking about Killmonger dude needing therapy because he feel like a lot of us feel every day. Those individuals that took time to really look at their history, you already know. You know what I'm saying? You already know that it's kind of fucked up that somebody would need therapy after playing a character and not really being able. What does that say about you? You don't understand the motivation behind Killmonger. You are suspect. I don't even know if I want to see the next Black Panther movie. I'm serious. I really don't. If Michael B. Jordan gonna be in it, I might not go see shit that he in. You know what I'm saying? Because now he need therapy for my life, for my anger. He need therapy for shit that I live with. Who the fuck are you? You know what I'm saying? I'm sitting up here like, damn, where do you live? You did Fruitville Station. You don't feel a sense of outrage? You know what I'm saying? I need therapy. You can't escape blackness. You can't escape. I'm trying to let people know. So I'm giving y'all some time to come in before we do the song. Oh my God, we got 2 people in. But I don't see it's telling me I can't. Let me go on and refresh this damn thing, because this is whack. I shouldn't have to be going through all this. I mean, I'm spending my damn pennies, you know what I'm saying, rubbing my pennies together to try to make sure that we able to go on and communicate with the people in the proper way, and it's not doing it right. Don't you knock nothing down.
Hi.
That's the mosh, y'all. That's the mosh. Alright. Peace. Fam. We're going to do the toast, and then we'll get into the conversation. Lines are open. I will type up the number after we get done with the toast. Shouts out to YouTube. Shouts out to Facebook. Shouts out to Periscope. Shouts out to Stream.me. Hopefully we'll be able to find a receptive audience on there. Real lies. Oh my God, now Periscope is tripping. So, you know, shouts out to you, whoever watching on Periscope that don't have better time. Go find somebody you like. My God. But hey, we're about to get it popping real quick. So here we go. Let's see. First off, I want to welcome you to Gye-Nyame
Johnny Media.
This is the Daily Toast, and this is a Heart of December production.
Well, we strive to blow up your old paradigms.
Come on, drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Breathe, then drink. Now grab your glass for that water. Get your bottle for some water. Twist the cap off that water. Lift and pour your water. Drink. Lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water. Come on, stretch, fam. Move your body and drink some water. Move your body, move your spine. Move your body and drink some water. Just move your body. Drink. Move, then drink. Now lift your glass and toast your ancestors. Now lift your glass and toast your ancestors. Now lift your glass and toast your ancestors. Now lift your glass. Drink. Lift, toast, then drink. Now take your breath and drink some water. Now move your body and drink some water. Now lift and pour yourself some water. Now raise and toast your ancestors. Drink. Lift, toast, then drink. Fam. So we ain't got the water, drinking the water. Remember, we can't take care of our business if we're not taking care of ourselves, and we can't really take care of our ancestors if we're not taking care of ourselves. So I try to start my day off by drinking some water. Water helps cleanse the body, helps open up your mind, and helps you stay flexible. So we drink, you know what I'm saying? Now, remember the 4 pillars of health. 4 pillars of health. First pillar is breathing. That's why we start with the breath. You know what I'm saying? Take your breath. Take your breath consciously, right? Next, we have water. You know what I'm saying? Which is the second most important thing. A lot of people are suffering from diseases that are caused from dehydration, right? A lot of us are suffering from dehydration. Coffee, tea, Kool-Aid, pop, those don't count because your body has to work extra hard to extract all of that gunk. None of that counts because your body has to work extra hard to extract the water out of that. So you want to get your water a fair amount of H2O every day. And what's the proper amount? Some people say, and I like to stick to this, you take half your body weight in water. Drink half your body weight in ounces in water. I don't want to say half your body weight because some of y'all be drinking all day. So now, next. The next one is eating a culturally appropriate diet. Most of you that tune in here are of African descent, so you need to check out the African Heritage Diet and really get into putting those things in your body that culturally aligns with you, right? Next, last but not least is culturally appropriate movements. What culturally appropriate movements are you making? I got a culturally appropriate movement for some of y'all that's in Columbus. We got the Pearl Honor popping off today at 11:30. Come out and move around a little bit with some of your family, because when we talk about physical fitness, we got to work out the mind as well as work out the body. So come on out and join us. All right, now, so let's go and get our drink out.
I'm so dizzy. I'm sleepy.
Got the last little bit of my ambrosia. I might have to go and bust open one of my ancient bottles, because I do have some other ancient bottles. All right, go out the way, Mosh. Alright, so here we go. First, giving honor to the Creator by whatever name you choose to call that Creator. We lift up our glass and we salute that Creator. We know that the Creator is all around us. We know that it rests in all of us. We know for a fact that it's around us. But now what we want to do is we want to pull on the conscious aspect of it. We want to become conscious of it. We want to become aware of it in the moment, right now. And we lift up our glass to salute that. We lift up our glass to salute that Creator, and we say Ashe. From there, we move to our list of ancestors and family. We have room for your ancestors as well. Like I said, because we got certain haters on here, right? Because we got certain haters on here, when people send in stuff, I have to start checking your pedigree. You understand what I'm saying? So when you send it on the internet, now if I don't know you, and if you ain't got nobody online to vouch for you, I ain't putting your ancestors on the list. I'm just keeping it all the way honest. I got to have some verification of who you are and your connection to us. You know, because like I said, we starting to get haters, and I'm loving it. Y'all ain't doing nothing but spreading the word, and I appreciate your foolishness. Culturally appropriate movement, Comedic Yoga. Oh, also we got Comedic Yoga popping off with Sister Roni at 10 a.m. at Gore Insurance as well. Culturally appropriate movement, family. All right, so here we go. Start off with the answer.
One.
You got an ancestor, Sasha? Go ahead.
Cecil Ellis.
Cecil Ellis it is. All right. We lift up our glass and we salute. Family, if any of you out there got it, you know, you got some new ones that you want to add, or if you are recognizable by somebody in the family, you can post up your ancestors. I'll read them as well. All right. Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robin the Tex, Anna Davis, Herman Brown Sr., Rosalie Tilly, Georgia William Walter, Christopher Fanny Gasson, Aunt Lena, Uncle Chris, Aunt Fiend, Cleveland and Geneva Brown, Margaret Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Abba Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown II, Barbara Twiggs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallar, Montague Pittmanell, Normal X, Pat Mott Ralph, Malika Fakour, Dr. Marianne Williams, Kojo Kamal, Elder Farmer, Elder Millie Dixon, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Brofro, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carla Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sturdy and Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pullier, the Luxor brother, Miss Eda Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Alonzo Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kel Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Trigg, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Natalie Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Fritz Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Grinderman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratley, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kellen D. Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melvin Dale Hodge, Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bird Beatty, Sarah Well, Levita Farmer, Agoso Sue, Cheryl Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Deolis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thorne, Pearl G. Thorne, Ida Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thorne, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, May Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keachler Reese, Linda Watson Hammonds, Jarrell Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy Seven Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Pearl Moore, Percy Moore Jr., Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Hilda Pearson, Sturgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Lavinia Hall, Freeman Banks, Mary Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kennedy, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quails, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quails, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Mormon, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Dorita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W.S. Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry World, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Hattie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatep Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas and Lula Berry, Lacey Eleanor Howe, Frankie Russell and Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Vina Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Silas Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carla Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ellis Murphy, D'Amico Russell, Dilymon Aries, Gina Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan, William Walter West, Nigel Perez, Elder Basiji Filani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Delise Waters, DeFriedis Hines, Inez Bostic, and the Bostic Winifred Scantleberry, Wilson Hadley, Elma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spratling, Calvin Spratling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Edith Catney, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Peanut Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nalon Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Sue Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gatson, Jerry Bradley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, Uncle Buki, also known as Gypsy, Reverend Roosevelt Word the First, Stacy Triche, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, David Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doe, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donna Hill, Richard Gleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Diane Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Alice Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, Gwendolyn and Bob Hatch, Kimball, Vernon, Bradley, Kim, Janie, Harriet Tubman Cates, Spencer Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, Hatch Sr., Mally Miller, Housie Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Francis Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Nelly Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cofer, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, Joanne Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Harrison, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heap Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Albert Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Ellerton Houston, Lud Oz, Elijah Oz, Jerome Oz, Henry West Staten, Joe Jamel Oz, Ann Pierce, Donald Carter, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Bet Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beer, Tim Butler, Ramey Laura Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Baba Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, Jerry C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Bradley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Catherine Saunders, Muriel Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Catherine Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Irvin, Haroon Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, Lee Irvin Sr., Michael Irvin, Ozella Watson, Hugo Watson, John Caldwell Sr., Robbie Lee Caldwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rayshawn Easley, Javea McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shechem Aha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, North Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Oliver, Mazarine Coper, George Swan, Imani Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles H. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Edwards McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. We also have Joella Giles, James Carswell. We also want to send shots out to Liberta Adams, also known as Aunt Sis. We want to salute Elder Shabaka McNair, Anthony Brown, and Jonathan Ford. We lift up our glass to all of our ancestors, and we say Ashe. From there, family, we move to the present moment. Right now, in this moment, family, I want us to recognize this is where our power lies, and this is where we have to kind of focus our energy so that we can make things happen that we need to happen. Right? If we're constantly focusing on the future and what we want out of the future and not taking advantage of the moments that we have right now to build towards that future, you know what I'm saying? It's more than just sitting down and visualizing things. It's about us doing work in these moments. Mental work, physical work, spiritual work, working on all five parts of our being, right? Working through all 5 parts of our being. And it's important that we do this, family. Right? We can't just sit around be fantasizing and hoping and praying that things are going to change. We got to make them change. We got to make them change. Right? That means we got to get busy in the moment and start building. So right now, for those that today we are in Imani, we are on faith. For those that don't speak the language, Imani means faith. The mighty principle of the day is harmony. We are in trust. Far as the M7. Gender is the Hermetic law. If you are male and you were born on this day, if you are a Imani child, male name is Kwesi. Female name is Akosua, right? We lift up our glass to this present moment, realizing that we make a pact with the past as well as the future, right? We lift it up and we say, Ashe. From there, family, where do we go? We go to our future generations. We toast our children, our children's children on to infinity. So we lift up our glass and we toast them when we say Ashe. Next, we move to all of our relations. We toast. And of course, we say Ashe. From there, family, we move on. And where do we go? We go to you. This is that selfish toast, family. What is it that you need in the moment for yourself right now? Lift up your glass. We toast. For that thing that you need right now, that whatever it is, Ashe. From there, family, we move on and we toast, and I toast you, the most powerful, beautiful, magnificent, and inspiring, strong person that you are, right? You're the strongest in the room. I lift up my glass to you, and we say Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. So, we're going to give it a couple of minutes. If there's no call-ins, we're going to stop the show. But lines are open. Let me type and let people know what the call-in number. Call-in number is 614-556-4535. That's right. Thank you, Bosh.
You're not welcome.
Oh, okay.
You welcome.
Whatever. You hurt my feelings. Oh, Shasha, I see you out there, Miss Carr, as well. How are you doing? Hope everything is well. Let's see. All right, cool. So let me post up the number on here. Call in number 614-556-4535. Let's see if we can get that over there on, put it out there on Spreaker as well. Oh, they got me. I got to log all the way back in. That's cool. All right. Boom. Travel quotes. Dang, it's still so 1, 2 travel quotes. Oh, okay. I know why. Go to my public profile. Post it up. Call in. All right, there we go. Boom, that's up there in last place. And then we're going to put on a little bit of music. Give y'all a couple moments. I'm going to sip on this. Get my coffee ready so I can get out. Got to figure out what I'm going to take to the per onk. Computer moving slow. There we go. Check and see if we got any comments. No comments. Hold on. Something just popped up. Alright, cool. So slow. It's so slow. But I want to make sure y'all got the access to the numbers so y'all can go on in. Oh, it's up. It's already up. Oh, no. That's for Gye-Nyame Journey. Okay, I need to go to... There we go. Let's go here. Call in number 614. I remember I used to be able to do all this just on Hootsuite with one fell swoop. But they done changed a whole lot of stuff. They're making it very, very... I mean, it ain't hard. It's just a little bit more complicated, a little bit more time consuming. So I'm going to play a little bit of music. I'm going to give people time. If we are going to have discussion today, I'm going to give people time so that they can call in. Let's find us some good music real quick. Well, first, let's go to the commercial. We're going to do our commercial.
I am a Gye-Nyame man. I was born for greatness. My greatness comes from my potent sinner. I pledge to find and connect with my sinner. I pledge to build my spirit, mind, and body. I pledge to use my hands to build a better world for myself, my loved ones, and my community. I pledge to use my mind to think deeper, further, and higher to create a better reality for myself. I pledge to live my life and go beyond all my self-imposed limitations. I pledge to promote the principles of the Gye-Nyame warrior to assist all those seeking the path of success. I pledge all these things first to myself, my teachers, to all my relations, and to my higher power. I am Gye-Nyame. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. That is the Gye-Nyame pledge that is said by all of our true members at least once a day. Peace and welcome to our YouTube channel. Check out our videos and podcasts. Subscribe as well as join the journey. Push past your self-imposed limitations within the Gye-Nyame journey. Peace.
All right, this is for my new friend on Periscope. Real lies. This is especially for you, my friend. Here we go. This is Brother Shechem.
So with no further delay, let's give him our undivided attention, and let's receive Brother Minister Nuri Muhammad with a warm round of applause. All praise and peace to Allah.
Assalamu alaikum. Thank you, family. In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, I bear witness there is no God but Allah, and I bear witness that Muhammad is indeed his messenger. I'd like to greet my brothers and my sisters in the greeting words of peace of Assalamu alaikum. How's everybody today? All praises are due to Allah. I'm doing well myself, striving in Allah's name to make my word my bond. Thanking Allah to be able to celebrate a Savior's Day. To actually have met a Lord and a Redeemer for the black man and woman in the whole world if they only but understood. And I'm talking about the greatest black man that has ever lived other than God himself. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad. All praise is due to Allah for the most honorable Elijah Muhammad.
Yeah, Columbus most dangerous up in here for the year 2014. Yeah, Grime Life Entertainment. It's got you calling on your Jesus. Stomach full of pork chops. Wake up out of your sleep, it's getting deep. It's time I wreck shop. The enemy keep these pictures from the scripture. Blood you in the crypture. You put you a devil that's crazy. Got you straight, you see the picture. Vision it clearly. Man, you too near me not to hear me. Chastisement divinely coming from Allah so severely. Rain, snow, hell, and earthquakes. The world will shake. Let's watch these white devils fall. That is your fate. Vanilla killer, cause it's judgment day. Ain't no mistaking running high. It's about time you pay for slavery. Look what you did to me and other black people. Made us to live inferior. Treat us like we ain't equal. Tricked us with Christianity. Taught us about a trinity. Planned to lead us to hell. Blind with no unity. If you would me wanna break these chains, united we stand tall. Let's go, you hear Elijah's final call. We must follow his teachings. Let's make it through Judgment Day. Black woman, black man, unite, white folk gon' pay for the way she did her. Black slaves sent the Lord in a rage. Look, read the front page. A lot of devils filling up the graves. Vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away. No, vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away.
See what's wrong with the way we living? Crazy spitting and fornicating with crazy women. It's crazy ignorant. You programmed and made me ignorant. Just sit down, have a seat, homie, and pay attention. BET wants you to see the cars, clothes, and bling. That's what they show you to program you just to want these things. To make it worse, they even show you how to go and get it. Get you a pot and some water, jump on the stove and whip it. Guess you don't understand the reason why you wear a chain. Cause you still enslaved, it's different, yet it's still the same. They blowing up our buildings, they poisoning our food. They poisoning our mind, we sick and we ain't got the flu. And you don't got a clue, cause you addicted to Jerry Springer and Dr. Who and whatever they got for you. We killing each other thinking it's what we gotta do. The end is near and it's coming soon. I'm trying to choose.
Let's make it through Judgment Day. Black woman, black man, unite, white folk gon' pay for the way she did her. Black slaves sent the Lord in a rage. Look, read the front page. A lot of devils filling up the graves. Vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away. No, vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away. We in these last days, they still don't wanna give us reparations, and they still don't wanna offer us the land to build a black nation, so we can show that we started civilization, the first created on earth. Take it for what it's worth. This is God, so if He give it, we take it. With His devour, the real hurts. Let's bow and repent, or else it gets worse. Hearts will burst. You even got the nerve to want to integrate. Who does that? Sleep with the enemy. That's a fool's fate. Take heed to the lessons taught by Elijah Muhammad. Drop your Christian faith, accept Allah. Become Islamic, believe in his prophets. Believe in the oneness of the Almighty. He's present, the thirst of wicked and slimy. White man, he grimy. Your time's up. You try 6,000 years, no more luck. You can't duck. The disaster was struck. Y'all should give up. So keep your false preaching. Save us all from your grief, the final call. Listen, Muhammad speaks. We must follow his teachings. Let's make it through Judgment Day. Black woman, black man, unite. White folk gon' pay for the way she did her. Black slave sent the Lord in a rage. Look, read the front page. A lot of devils filling up the graves. Vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away. No, vanilla killer, it's the Judgment Day. Ain't no hiding, ain't no running, ain't no getting away.
Man, it must be a real lazy Imani. My daily toasters, and I don't see nobody. Well, my fault, see Sister Kim. I really, my fault, and Sister Cynthia's on her way to yoga. But what's going on, family? But it's cool, cause I'll talk for a couple minutes and then I'm gonna get up off here, cause I don't want to belabor the point. But family, listen. It's time for us to start circling our wagons, y'all. Y'all done heard me talking about this. It's time for us to get into some serious tribe building, because some rough times are possibly on their way. Because if you think people mad about their taxes, wait till the discussion that is brewing really starts hitting the surface. Wait till more and more black people are talking about descendants of slavery, American descendants of slaves, right? Wait till more of us start talking about having our agenda thrusted before the national body, right? Because this is where we're going right now, right? Because it's at a point now where black folks are starting to realize, right? Listen, the only way you're going to be heard, right? The only way you're going to be heard, the only way that you're going to be heard and even possibly listened to, if you force your agenda up there. It's time for us to go on with this politeness. It's time for us to go on with this being polite. It's time for us to move away from all of the relations or what they call them allies that are not really allies. We need to really start having people who can understand where we're coming from. Family, we are falling into a hole, and it's like there's no assistance coming. And the only way that we're going to get what we want is to demand it. Power never gives you anything. You have to demand it, and in most cases, you got to take it. And many of us have been sitting around waiting for people to come to some type of moral crisis to where they like, we got to do justice by them. We got to, but no, they're not going to go there as long as you're sitting there, and they could be totally comfortable with you in the room, and they could be totally comfortable with making all of your issues not bottom line issues. And let me say this. For all of y'all out there that's on this comfort shit, right? That's on this comfort shit and want to be and only want to win shit. We as a people, this is why I'm saying circle of wagons. We got to be real. We got to be willing and we got to be willing to take a loss. Right? You can't go into professional fighting and not know that you're going to lose. You can't put yourself in competition and not know that every now and then you're going to get your ass kicked. You see, because a lot of times we like, our people got to win. Listen. We got to get our agenda on the table so that people know that when they come into us, if they are not addressing the agenda items on our table, and when they getting off if they are not addressing our agenda, we will take your ass out of there. We got to understand this, family. This is how it rolls. This is how it's going to be moving from here forward. From here forward. We didn't try to fit in. We didn't try to work with everybody, but now we looking at the numbers, we be like, this shit is not working. The math is telling us it's not working. It's not my emotions. The math, when I look at the math, it's showing me that it's not working. That is not working. So right now, we have to start really recognizing what we are, because what's been going on is I have a lot of people. I have a lot of people in my family that's on this illusionary shit. We all came from kings and queens. That shit is not true. You know what I'm saying? And we want to erase, because it's important that we grasp our African history. But we also have to grasp the part of our history that our ancestors struggled, suffered, and bled through here. This is a part of the history. And we have to embrace that shit. And we have to use it. We have to use it and build ourselves from that. But somebody's on the line. Who's on the line?
Hey, this is Kim.
What's up? How's it going over there on the west coast of Africa?
Yes, it's good. It's the weather has been not too hot, so it's actually really nice now.
Now, so she's calling in. I can't. In Dugu, say it for me, please.
Wagadugu. Wagadugu. Wagadugu.
What is
Wagadugu?
And which country is it in? Waza?
Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso. I could say that. Burkina Faso. She in Burkina Faso.
Yeah.
Is that the capital?
That's the country. Ouagadougou is the capital.
No, that's what I was asking. Is Ouagadougou the capital of?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. So you called in. Yeah. I know you got something. You got something for us, because you over there. You were able to look at what's going on over here from an outside perspective. So what you see brewing?
Pretty much I put everything you said. I think that more so we need to get prepared for the storm.
It's coming.
And it's coming. We need. Like 2 years ago, I did like a presentation. You know, a lot of times I think about stuff, and I really think about my family first. So I did like this presentation for my family about getting prepared for the storm. And one of the things that I thought, as a people in our families, we need to get our families ready for the storm. Because if you got a few people ready, but your family ain't ready, because we still live in extended family.
Right.
Then that's going to pull you down, and then even though you're ready, you're not going to be able to handle the storm. And so that's what I was thinking. I mean, we need to know how to handle chronic joblessness because like you speaking out, other people speaking out, it's going to get to the point where a lot of these people are not going to be able to work.
Right.
And so we're going to have chronic, intelligent people with chronic joblessness. How do you handle that? So that's something as a family. We need to learn how to mentor each other, how to help each other navigate the world we in. And so, you know, it's just something I did. I haven't really had a chance to do anything with it, but I just felt, I believe everything you're saying. And at the same time, I think, you know, we have to look, you're talking about macro in terms of the wider black community, but as black people, we live in families.
We sure do.
And we need to, and that's the hardest thing in the world, is to get your family ready. I get that. But at the same time, when your family's not ready and when that storm comes, it's going to pull you down.
Oh, yeah. Because this one of the major issues is that, like I said, pulling into tribes, because what's going to happen is when shit hits the fan, and people, please understand, we're not talking about the end of the world. We're talking about when people start really becoming dissatisfied, because the whole discussion around black people is about to change in America. And one of the things that Sister Kim brought up to the point, and you hear John Henry Clark say that we have no allies. And when we start really demanding for what we want, and it starts stepping on other people's toes and interfering with other people's interests, we are going to see the truth of whether they are allies or not, without a shadow of a doubt, family. Because y'all, we got to understand. Because when you start talking about reparations,
in the 1900s, they don't owe you anything. A lot of the people who are here in America came in the 1900s with those big waves of immigration. They're going to say they don't owe us anything. The good thing is now we have the data to show just because you came then, you came on a wave that was built by somebody else.
Right.
It was made by somebody else.
Right.
So you owe us because you rode that wave.
Well,
so we didn't have the data before, but we do have it now. And we got to be prepared for that, because that's what Obama said. And that is going to be a very strong argument. And so we have to be ready for that.
Now, but now what I'm saying is we need to frame it as this is a debt that America owes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, boom. And now of course you're going to have to pay. But I mean, this is the price of being an American. You know what I'm saying? Period. It's the price of being America. This America would not be where it is without who we were. All right. Brother Kwame has an issue. I wonder what's going on. He might need a ride. So and it's going to be intense. Right, and it's gonna be it's gonna be uncomfortable, because because a lot of people are gonna be mad because what I was about to say before you got in there, not to fall into this people of color, and this is something that hit because of the New Deal and shit. No, everybody's gonna be trying to get in on this because people see that America is going to have to pay as more and more of us start demanding. America is going to have to pay, right? A politician is going to have to go into office with us on their lips, and family. Even if reparations don't come within our lifetime, the issue is, one, I'm trying to get y'all out of this winning all the time mentality. Sometimes what's more important than victory is letting motherfuckers know that you're gonna fight. That was the whole issue behind the movie 300. You don't have to win. All you have to do is become the legend that led the fight, and that will inspire the generations after you. You understand what I'm saying? See, because we want to go in, they can't address black issues because they address our issues, then they're not gonna win, and we can't let people hit us with that bullshit that if it benefits all Americans, it benefits black Americans. Fuck that. What we need is a different mentality. What the mentality we need is, if it benefits black Americans, it benefits all Americans. So if the
that's the truth. I mean, that's the truth. That's the truth.
We are the tide. This is what a lot of people they say, a rising tide lifts all boats. Right? So black folks is thinking that we got the boats. No, nigga, you the tide. You
the tide.
You ain't even got a boat.
We brought here to be the tide, and they set up a system so we remain that.
Right. So we got to understand, rise the tide, other boats is gonna lift. You got to take care of the water. The water's polluted. The water is sick. The water is going away now. We need to go on and take care of the water so that the tide can rise. We are the tide. Somebody else called in. Who's on the line?
It's Kwame, man. I'm late to the table, but I didn't get the black signal, so I didn't even know you had come on.
See, I sent out the black signal, so you saying, wait a minute. See, oh my God. Goddamn. All right, I'm sorry. But
and normally I get it, so I don't know what happened today.
Well, I ain't get it either, and I'm the motherfucker that sent it out. I just couldn't stop it. I just couldn't stop it.
I ain't get it neither.
Who?
I just used my spidey senses and got here.
That sound like a drunk Shaka. Shaka, you sipping on that ambrosia early in this morning? My fault. You sipping on that red juice? All right, hey. If you let it age right, family, listen. We on to some powerful shit here. Me and Sister Kim,
I got a favor to ask you, bro.
You need a ride. I got you.
Yeah, but could you pick me up from the church house on 18th and Brighton?
Oh, that's even better. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll call you when I'm on my way.
Man, that'll work. I appreciate it, bro. Thanks.
That's not an issue. I got you.
All right, family. I'll rap with you. One love. I got to go into the church house.
Praise the Lord.
White Jesus.
White Jesus.
Right?
Praise white Jesus. Asking for reparations. We asking white Jesus for reparations. That's goddamn right. We asking white Jesus for reparations. Catholic Church, you come up off my money and off my artifacts. All right.
All right, fam. One love.
Peace. All right. Sister Kim, you was talking. I hate to enter, because you be calling. I don't know whether your stuff gonna stay in or not. Shaka gonna be here. So you got something else you want to share for us?
No, my signal is good today. Sometimes it's bad, sometimes it's good. Today is good. It's just these countries, they don't have stable electricity.
Yeah, I know. I've been over there.
Stable electricity. We don't have. Good Wi-Fi.
I've been to Ghana maybe 3 or 4 times. Since I drink a lot, I don't remember whether it was 3 or 4 times. It's 3 or 4. I don't know. Because I kick it when I'm over there. So I get off the plane. From getting off the plane to getting back on the plane is like, but that was a long time ago. That's when I was an international man of mystery and leisure. Then the reality.
You coming back?
I'm
you
trying.
plan on coming back?
I'm trying. I'm trying to get my wife back. Because my wife is from Ghana, so I'm trying to get her over there so she gone and going to scope out the territory. Because I got my children have never met her side of the family, so we have to work diligently to get them over there because with the grandparents and stuff. So that's part of the thing that and I'm gonna come up with some way to do it. But it's gonna happen. Brother Shaka, it's on you. So what you gonna do?
I just came in and back in.
Oh, you don't know what we're talking about. Well, if you ever call into Gye-Nyame Journey and you don't know where to start, always start. If you start with reparations, you usually on point. So anything we go ahead, Sister Kim.
I wanna share.
Sister Kim, we can't hear you. They found out she was all right, Shaka, go ahead until she come back on. Oh, so you don't know what he's talking about. So now back to my thing, man. It's like, so we have to start really circling the wagon. Okay, you back? Sister Kim, we ain't here.
Hebrews.
You got to start over.
Okay. You want me to start over?
Yeah, we ain't hear none of that. The bars was moving, but we ain't hear a word. Me and Shaka been sitting here talking.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, I've been really kind of doing some thinking of how we, African Americans, descendants of slaves, are similar to Hebrews. And when I say this, I'm telling it to you guys, and y'all probably already deep into this. I myself am not. I tend to not look at things like that. However, recently I was studying this primarily because I'm teaching it. And so just looking at how the Hebrews were multiple tribes, and they came together with the belief in one God, and then they came together to be deciding to be a people. And when they hello?
I'm listening. We listening.
And when they decided to, Moses just led them out of Egypt, Moses asked for reparations. When he finally asked the Pharaoh, can he leave? He said, okay, we need gold. And the Pharaoh was like, what? He said, yes, we built up Egypt for you, give us something. Even though he had God, he still asked for gold.
He asked for gold. They left Egypt with reparations.
And let them out. And so my thing is, I just see us as kind of being like that because we basically are hundreds of tribes or thousands of tribes of people from West Africa and mixed in some Europe. What we are, and we coming together, we in this process of coming together as one people. We are currently one people, and that's our names keep changing, but we are a people,
right,
that was created through slavery. And so my thing is, when we're asking for reparations, and I know that's what's going, we're pushing for that now. But my question is, how strong is our quest going to be if we don't have something that bonds us super tight together? Like in the Hebrews case, they had to believe in one God.
So,
it's just something that I've been thinking about.
Well, the one thing that could combine us as strongly as the Hebrews, I'm sorry, because you know I'm about to get silly but serious at the same time, is our belief our belief in anti-brokenness. You know what I'm saying? We all can combine on the altar of anti-brokenness. And when I say brokenness, I'm not just talking about brokenness in the sense of I ain't got no money to go buy a pack of cigarettes right now. I'm talking about brokenness generationally. Another thing we can gather around is like every day on the toast, I salute the Creator by whatever name you have. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So there is a unity. There's a universal spirit that we could gather behind. But one of the things that combine us is that one thing that all humans share in common is that we all die. So one of the things that can be used to unite us is the idea of our ancestors. Our ancestors struggled. Our ancestors died. So we don't have to get into all of this deep trying to decipher the true universal God. I know what you mean. I don't have to believe in Yahweh or Allah and all that. You know what I'm saying? And you can, but at the same time, you still can understand my love for my grandmother, like you have your love for somebody that passed. So we could combine ourselves with that because we come together and we could pour libations. Because this has worked. This has worked with whether it's been all black people. It has worked in situations where there's been mixed company. You know what I'm saying? We got we got some supporters out there. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's just when the hard times comes, you're gonna really see who on your side and who just playing, right? And that's what we need right now. We need a crisis so that we can really decide and really see who is on our side and who is not. You understand what I'm saying? Because and then like go ahead.
I get it. That's a good response. That's a good response. That's an excellent response, in fact.
So
yeah, I get it.
You know, because like I said, you always because even if we was to decide, because this how crazy it is. Even if we was deciding and we was to name a deity, there will eventually be people breaking off in how they believe about that deity. But the one thing that does combine us is the love for our ancestors, the love for those people that was in our life. You know what I'm saying?
You're right.
That's truly a cultural thing for us. You know what I'm saying? Because even when I was in the Army, I would have older black dudes. I would watch them smoke. This is before I got indulged in smoking. I would watch them smoke cigarettes. And when we'd be out in the field, you know, I would notice that they would take a cigarette and flip it upside down. No matter how far away we were from the store, they would flip it upside down and make it different than the rest of the cigarettes in the pack. And I'd be like, why y'all doing that? They saying this is for the brothers who might want to smoke but can't smoke. And when they get down to that last one, they will be down at the last one, and we might be out 3 days before we gonna be going back to the place. And they'll take that last cigarette and they will sprinkle that. They say that's for all those that died in battle. That's for all of our brothers and stuff like that. And you even see old alcoholics. They used to before they take a sip of the alcohol, even deep alcohol, before they take a sip of the alcohol, they will pour it out. So this is something that is cultural for us. Even more cultural than having a name for a great being, because most people don't get to meet the great being. Even if you go into the Hebrew piece, it will be one person in each generation that will actually be able to come face to face with that deity because of the way their shit was designed. But everybody come into contact with individuals that became ancestors. Everybody got to see that love, and there's a more direct connection to the spiritual world than just this overall arching, this being that's always been there, watching you even in life when it's fucking you up and slap you in the face. At least your grandma was able to give you a hug. At least somebody around you that may have passed was able to kind of comfort you during that time. So the whole ancestor piece, I think, might be one of those connecting cultural phenomenons that we could use rather than this whole religion thing, because a lot of West Asians got hold of these religions, and even the way they study it is fucked up, and it fucks you up. So now you could do Yoruba, but then now you got different things breaking off. But the one thing they ain't been able to break off and separate and destroy is our acknowledgement of our relationship to our ancestors.
You're right about that. You're right, because even I noticed on a personal level, all the places I've lived, I have pictures of my parents. And wherever I live, no matter what, I put those pictures up first.
Right.
In my house. So, you're right. And I go visit some of my other friends. They don't do that. But you're right.
Which is kind of
that is cultural stuff.
Right. Which is, and that's kind of a signal for those of us as involved. Because think about this: you saying I am a descendant, a DOS. What is that? That's ancestors. I'm a descendant of.
That's true.
That's a whole ancestral movement. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that I'm a descendant of Yahweh. I'm not saying that I'm a descendant of Allah or Shango or Oladumare or Amen. I'm saying I am a descendant of slaves.
Let's go.
And my goal is to get a stronger connection with them and start standing up for them in this day and time, because they wasn't able to necessarily stand up for themselves like I'm able to do right now.
It's true.
So so I think it is not, we don't necessarily need that one being, but what we do have is those ancestors. And like I said, I got a list of ancestors with your people on here too, and we got a whole bunch of people that these people are connected to, that when they hear the name, it kind of changes how they interact with you.
That's true.
This is a tribe building exercise. Every morning it's a tribe building exercise. I let people know these are the people that are in my tribe, because their progeny have put their name on the list. These individuals were influential enough for an individual to remember them even 3 generations away, to put them on the list. So they're worthy of us to pour for. They're worthy for us to mention their name and to throw some thought energy out there. And in us doing that, we kind of bond a connection, right? Because what's going to happen is, as our children come up and they start hearing some of these names, they're not going to be able to distinguish whether it was a blood relative or whether it was just somebody that was on the list, that was put on the list.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
You know, so it's like, you know, and then we're going to have to start a little boom, boom. That's what we have to get in there. But not boom, this is your family history, but these are people that we are connected to and people that are in our tribe. So eventually the daily toast list will be so long, at least that's my goal, will be so long that I will have to have a separate show where these are nothing but for 45 minutes, all the names being read on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? But it'll come in time. It'll come in time. But I hope I start talking. I hope I answered that question.
No, you did. I mean, you answered it it's so clear now. Honestly, it's so clear now, and I'm glad I asked the question, because at first I was debating whether or not I should ask the question. And then because I was like, there's so many people who have, compared us to Hebrews and things like that. So I'm kind of new in thinking like that, because I tend to not do spiritual too much.
Right.
But I love the way you responded, because it speaks to who we are.
To who we are.
And our ancestors, that's really important to who we are. So now I'm like, I'm done with that.
I mean,
I totally get it.
Right.
And I totally understand, kind of how we have to build who we are. So I have another question or comment. I'm just curious to see, what do you think about this? Now, there's been more talk about African Americans being a tribe. Mm-hmm. And I don't have a problem with that necessarily. However, if you think in terms of African diaspora or Afrocentrism, this is my personal view. I personally think that tribes, from an African point of view, are counterproductive in the African countries. I think that if they got rid of tribes and came together as one people, really as one people, then that would make a difference in these countries. So my concern is, when we develop our tribe, when we call it a tribe, are we kind of thinking backwards? Because I see tribes as being kind of backwards.
Right. Now, one of the ways we got to really look at the concept of tribe, right, is that there was tribes when Mali was prospering. There was tribes when Songhai was prosperous. When Ghana was prosperous, there were tribes. There was tribes in Kemet as well. In all of our great civilization, there were tribes.
Mm-hmm.
What start to happen is that when you have an outside force that you are not aware of or not even paying attention to, that is able to bring up and remind everybody of the differences between those tribes. Because what the tribe thing work against you when you have a third party that's able to point out who you are. Because really, when you think about it, West Asians operate totally on tribe. What is France? What's the difference between a France and a German? It's a tribal difference. Those are tribes.
I agree. I don't think it's tribe. I think that's the success of the European countries, and that's the success of China. China got rid of their tribe. They said, we're going to be one China. Everybody's going to speak Mandarin. They had tribes in China just like you have in Africa, and they still have them, but they forced everybody to speak Mandarin, and they forced everybody to be one Chinese.
But are people still speaking? Are people
Europe went that way too.
Who?
Europe had tribes.
So what's the one language Europe speaks?
No, I said European countries.
Oh.
Like France,
Right.
England.
Right.
All those different sections of England have their own language.
Right. They did, and many of them, and some of them, they still had those dialects. Just like in China,
They still have those dialects.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
So those were tribes.
Right.
But they came together and they said, we're going to be one people, French people, English people.
Mm-hmm. Now, but first
together.
First they moved through the tribe phase, though.
They did move to, and my thing is, I really believe that is backwards, and I believe that is my view, that is what is holding this continent back.
You mean?
I'm talking about when I say this continent, because I'm here.
Right.
So it's holding Africa back.
Right.
Tribe and tribalism.
Now, let me say this: to say that they're moving back is saying that they were at a greater point at one point in time. So they're moving. You understand what I'm saying? It's almost like they had already resolved the tribal piece. Close the door, ladies.
At one point in time, they were great, but that was when everybody was tribes. Like when Africa was great, or I don't want to say great, but successful or whatever, that was when pretty much every continent on earth, people had tribes.
Right.
It was a very long time ago that Africa was really successful in terms of historical. You're talking about pre-14, 1500 or 1600 when Africa was successful. So everybody was a tribe then.
Right.
But now these countries they've come together and they've gotten rid of those tribes. For the most part, the successful ones. The ones who are doing great. It's just my theory.
No, but now, because I'm saying it to say that is moving backwards, because it's like tribes is a necessary change point. And I'm thinking that they have to go through it because they have to realize, because one of the things that, if you don't have the information, you can't be like, yo, we need to work together. You understand what I'm saying? You got to have that information. There's an outside force that we got to deal against. So when you go to African countries, and even when you come to inner city America, a lot of people don't understand that we are under attack. You know, they can kind of feel it, but they operate like it's not real. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like the tribe phase is a necessary step in that nation builder piece, because now once I'm able to establish a tribe and I got people thinking in a certain way, thinking in similar fashions, having similar traditions and stuff like that, it's easier to be able to to word it and then be able to find others and combine, rather than having a whole mishmash of confusion when nobody know who the fuck they are. You know, because I hear you, but it's like for us that don't really operate with tribes, for us, I don't think it's necessarily moving backwards. I think it's us reaching out to people like ourselves. And I think that's a natural human drive to reach out to those like yourselves, and it can become very destructive. But it also... No,
I agree with you when it comes to us. We need to learn how to put ourselves first. We need to learn how to act a little more tribal instead of we're always going for unity. So, and we get in the short end of the stick.
Right.
That tends to be our pattern. That is true. But when it comes to the motherland, see, we're different. Our situation is different from the motherland.
Right.
When it comes to the motherland, I feel like the motherland is perpetually backwards. Tribalism is part of one of the key problems with this continent.
And I
don't think this continent is going to progress unless it has to be country by country. They drop tribes, like drop it. It will be painful, but drop it.
You don't think that it takes an outside force to make that happen?
It can't be an outside force because tribalism benefits outside forces. I mean, the way I see Africa, I don't see this continent, in my opinion, hasn't changed in 500 years. No, there's nothing changing in 500 years because the business of Africa is taking the natural resource, a few people who are in key positions, broker the natural resources with outside forces. They broker those deals. They sell the natural resources. They get their money, and then they do whatever they want to do, and the people in the land get nothing.
True.
That has been going on for 500 years, and that has not changed. You know, people are a natural resource. They sold their people. They selling the things in the land, the gold, the oil, all the minerals. You have a handful of people brokering those deals. Those handful get the money.
Right.
I mean, this has been going on for they're doing the same business for 500 years. And tribes benefit that.
Oh, yeah. Now, when I say outside force, I'm talking about like us. If we was to straighten up our stuff here, if we was to handle business in a sense, put our mask on first, because the plane going down, we put our mask on first, would we be able to possibly organize or help them see the necessity of that? Because usually,
I think we could.
Right.
I think theoretically we could. However, realistically, we got to really get our stuff together because they've been doing this game for 500 years. They've been doing this game for a long time. You get those few people who broker these deals like this is how Africa runs for a very long time. So we have to be careful. You dealing with some people who've been doing this for too long, and we new kids on the block, you trying to work with them, you got to know what you're dealing with.
That's true.
Theoretically, yes. Theoretically, yes.
Because, I mean, it's like, and this is a reason for us, it's important that we kind of hunker down and be clear on who we are so that we could present our true face to the world. You know, and possibly influence enough people over there to move and have the power here to once again, as they say, reward our friends and punish our enemies.
No, I think you're right. I agree.
But what I'm saying is, by us doing that over here, I'm thinking that it will have an influence over there because we have diplomatic relationships with different countries over there. And there's certain things that we can kind of push. If they're not doing this, we're not seeing this, they ain't getting shit from us. Kind of make it hurt. Get it from Russia. You know what I'm saying? You're not moving on the plan that we have for the continent. Because once again, in our agenda, we also have to have a plan for how we want to relate with the continent, and in a sense, how we, in a sense, want to be able to deal and what countries want to deal with. And I think we will have a bigger influence, especially with entertainment. I mean, the entertainment empire that we have to hold on the whole entertainment piece that we have. And if we had a little bit of wealth, what could we do? I mean, we could reprogram a lot of that with TV shows because they love American shows or shows that look like they're American. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of reprogramming that we could do with the music. There's a lot of reprogramming we could do with concerts. There's a lot of reprogramming we could do with shows that we make available over there. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but it all starts with us pulling our shit together and being like, look, this is what we, as an African people. Now we're done talking about DOS. As African people, this is how we got to relate to each other. If you can't relate like this, you need to move off the continent.
Yeah, I mean, we do have to have some difficult conversations.
We got to have some very difficult conversations.
You got to do that. You don't think it's difficult?
Oh, it's going to be very difficult. And like you said, we got individuals that's been benefiting off of this for generations. So they're gonna hold on until they knuckles turn right. They're gonna hold on, and they're gonna try to kill you. They don't mind doing it because they've been able to operate without any hindrances. Yep. Shasha, you leave with that door open. I dare you. Or whoever. But hey, family, I got to get ready to get up out of here. I got the I got a prayer to go to, and I have to stop by the store and get something to put on the table. You know, don't want to look like a freeloader, even though you know I'm kind of, you know, I ain't even got no ambrosia to take. But family, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I want to especially thank Miss Kim for taking the time to call in all the way from Burkina Faso. Shots out to everybody who took the time, and I will see you in a few hours for the Daily Toast. With that, I'm out. Peace.